A dream cruise turns into a nightmare for a South Carolina couple when they missed the boat, literally stranding them 6,000 miles from home. Chief Transportation Correspondent Mackay Beeler joins us now with the cautionary tale of how their vacation just quickly took a turn for the worse.
Yeah, so a spring break turned into a spring bungle for Jill and Jay Campbell of Garden City, thanks to a shore excursion gone wrong. Well, the couple, along with 6 other shipmates, missed the all-aboard time. That's a mandatory last call to reboard the cruise ship, the Norwegian Dawn. Well, after a day shore, they come and return to the ship, and yeah, they can't get on it. It happened on a small island near Nigeria, part of the itinerary of a 21-day voyage from Cape Town, sailing up the African coast to Barcelona. Well, the cruise ship was temporarily anchored offshore to allow passengers to disembark for a day trip of land excursions. Well, rather than book an outing with a tour operator affiliated with the Norwegian Cruise Line, the stranded group opted to hire a private tour guide. According to reports, the tour ran late, and when the group returned to the dock to meet the ship, well, the last tender had departed. Reports say the tour operator was unsuccessful in reaching the captain and, getting the captain to return to pick up the stuck passengers in a tender. Well, a statement from Norwegian Cruise Line says, quote, guests are responsible for ensuring they return to the ship at the published time, which is communicated broadly over the ship's intercom, in the daily print communication, and posted just before exiting the vessel. Given that these guests were on a private tour and did not return to the ship at the communicated all-aboard time, they are responsible for any necessary travel arrangements to rejoin the ship at the next available port of call per our protocol, unquote.
Yeah, Mackay, this isn't a situation that anyone would enjoy on vacation, but it seems like, they communicated over and over and over again on these ships. But I wanted to ask you, the group could have met the ship at the next stop. Did they do that?
They did. They did. Now, you got to understand, their wallets, all their stuff is on the ship. Fortunately, somebody had a credit card in the group.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they paid their own expense to get to the next port. But as fate would have it, the weather was horrible and the ship couldn't dock. The seas were too rough, the tides were too high, it was just unsafe. So the cruise line communicated with the group and said, look, go to the next port, but we're going to pay. We're going to reimburse you for those expenses.
That's fair.
More than fair. Which was fair. So that's what they did. So that was this morning. They were at the next port, Senegal, and they interviewed our South Carolina residents. And they were mad. They said, we don't even know if we want to board the ship now.
Well, you don't have to.
We don't know if we want to board the ship because you didn't treat us fairly. And they were disappointed. But last we heard, everybody boarded the ship. But here's the lesson. Don't be late for the ship. Don't be late. You miss it,
pretty easy.
You're stuck. So anyway, heart goes out to them because it was very stressful.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But, again, they're really strict on those timelines.
They are.
So, all right, Mackay, thank you for bringing us that story.